You're not going to believe this. A body was found in a house that doesn't exist. And no, that's not a metaphor. The house literally isn't there. It was marked on a 1964 land registry. There were blueprints, a street number, even a fire insurance policy. But today, nothing. Just woods. So how did a body show up there last month? Hi, I'm Mark Ellis, and this is The Vanishing Point, a series about places, people, and things that don't want to be found. Our story begins with a 911 call. Yeah, I think I found a body in the woods behind my uncle's cabin. I swear, there's a house out here, but it's not on any map. And Jesus, the smell? I think someone's dead. Sir, are you inside the house now? It's not a house. It's like what's left of one. But the walls, they're still warm. According to sheriff's records, deputies arrived on site at 2:17 a.m. The location, a heavily wooded tract in Red River County, Texas. But there was a problem. The coordinates given, they pointed to nothing. No house, no ruins, just brush. When we got there, I thought the guy was high. He was standing in the clearing, saying he just came out of the house. I asked him, where's the door? Where's the roof? And he just pointed at the air. So let's rewind. Because what this man found, what he walked into, may have existed once. Maybe. In 1963, a woman named Ruth Ellen Faulkner kept a journal while living in that area. Only one page remains, found in the attic of a neighboring property. August 11th. There was a light again in the trees, like a lantern swinging. Heard the voice. Same one as before. Open the door, Ruthie. There's no door in the garden, but I think it's trying to make one. Now, here's where it gets stranger. A FOIA request turned up a 1971 police file. Not digital, not scanned, just a typewritten report buried in a flood-damaged archive. The case? A missing family. The Faulkners. Yes, that Ruth Faulkner. Disappeared along with her husband and their 8-year-old daughter. No trace. House was supposedly destroyed in a brush fire. But there's no record of a fire. No insurance claim. Not even a mention in the local paper. Only this. Area where structure stood remains anomalously warm. No visible foundation remains. Locals refuse to enter Grove after sundown. We have these cultural dead zones. Places where the memory of a place outlasts the place itself. But sometimes memory remakes it. Mark, this is Lana from County Records. I looked into parcel 337, be like you asked. There's a weird note in the margin. Handwritten. Just says, structure migrated. Do not assess. What the hell does that mean? Migrated. That word stuck with me. Could a house move? Not physically, but maybe psychically? Like some kind of architectural ghost? Reappearing only when summoned? Or remembered? March 12th. For 09 a.m. something's here. My recorder's picking up interference again. I walk past the same tree twice. There's a sound, like whispering, but when I turn, it stops. Here's a fun detail. The man who made the 911 call, 2 days later, he disappeared. Left his truck running, wallet on the seat, blood in the pine needles. And remember the sheriff? A week later, he resigned. Packed up, left town. Refused to talk again. There's a door in the ground, but it only opens backwards. It keeps going. In 1986, a hiker swore he saw a chimney poking out of the dirt. Said it smelled like burnt milk and lavender. He left a note tucked into a tree knot. To whoever finds this, I went inside. Don't follow me. The note was found, but he never was. So what do we make of this? A disappearing house, a missing family, a door that only opens when no one's watching. Here's a theory, just a theory. What if the house isn't haunted? What if the house is alive? It feeds on memory, grief, curiosity, maybe even fear. It appears where it's remembered most and vanishes once you stop believing. And maybe, just maybe, everyone who finds it becomes part of it. One last thing. This morning, I got an envelope. No return address. Inside was a photograph. Black and white. Faded. It showed a little girl standing in front of a house. The same house. But here's the part that made my stomach turn. The girl was holding a sign. And on it, in crooked handwriting, were 3 words. Mark, come home. I thought it was a prank. Until I flipped the photo over. There was a date scrawled on the back. February 13th, 1993. That's the day my sister disappeared. She was 8, just like the Faulkner girl. They never found her. I was there. I remember the trees. I remember the cold. I remember her voice calling out. "There's something behind the garden," she said. "It keeps asking for my name." I never told anyone that. Not my parents. Not the police. I buried it. For years. But now, the handwriting on the photo, it looks like hers, and the house in the background. It wasn't there in '93. It's not there now. But in the photo, it's whole. Windows, chimney, even the lantern hanging on the porch. I scanned the image, ran it through AI enhancement tools. Something strange happened. Every time the software tried to clarify the face of the girl, it crashed. Just shut down. I sent it to a colleague. Digital forensics. She tried printing it. Her printer caught fire. So now I have this photo, this message, and one question burning in my head. What if it's not a house? What if it's a mouth? A place that opens when it wants something or someone to come in. And what if I already did? I didn't sleep that night. The photo sat on my desk, face down. I couldn't bring myself to look again, but I also couldn't throw it away. Around 2 a.m., the doorbell rang. No one there, just a brown envelope. Same kind as before. Inside, a cassette tape, unlabeled. I had to dig out an old recorder from the closet. Pressed play. What I heard chilled me. It was my voice. From 1993. I was 9 years old, and I was crying. You can hear me saying, over and over, "Where's Hannah? Where did she go? Why did she go into the floor?" Then silence. Then scratching. Then a voice I didn't recognize. Soft. Female. Almost whispering. "She's here. She remembers you." I turned the tape off and just sat there, shaking. No one ever recorded me back then. Not on tape. Not outside the police interviews. So how? How did this exist? Unless someone else was there. Watching. Recording. Following. The next morning, I did something stupid. I drove to Red River County. No plan. No camera crew. Just me. I parked at the last marked trail where the 911 caller said he entered the woods. Then I walked. No phone signal. No map. Just instinct. After maybe an hour, I started to hear it. Not footsteps. Breathing. Like someone walking behind me. But when I turned, nothing. And then, I saw it. A wall. Just one wall. Standing alone in the trees. Brick, moss-covered. With a window. I walked closer. And the moment I touched it, everything went quiet. Like the whole forest inhaled and never exhaled. Inside the window, just blackness. But as I looked, my reflection shifted. It wasn't me. It was a girl. Dark hair. White eyes. 8 years old. Hannah. She mouthed something. 3 words. I couldn't hear them. But I knew. She said, "Don't trust it." I blinked, and she was gone. I stepped back. But the wall was gone too. Just trees. Silence. I ran back to the car. On the windshield, another envelope. This one had a map. Drawn by hand. With landmarks I didn't recognize. But in the center, one word, circled in red ink. Threshold. I showed it to a cartographer. He looked pale. Said the markings resembled a 19th century fire map, used to document areas of land instability. Basically, spots where people built things that later vanished. Houses, churches, even whole settlements. He said this spot, this threshold, had one footnote. It read, "Occasional auditory phenomena, visual distortion. Do not remain past dusk." That's when it clicked. This wasn't about one house. It was about a place, a kind of liminal space, a crack in whatever fabric holds our world together. And somehow, that house, my sister, the Faulkners, all of it, is connected through that breach. It's a place that pulls things in, not randomly. It chooses. And now it's chosen me.